Wait, you're telling me we finally get a red saber for Christmas and it isn't Nero? Not very padoru of you, Lasangle. Hello everyone, Soberoni of G&A Reviews here, bringing you a distinctly umulous spotlight for what is fittingly the most charitable servant of all, Santa Karna. We'll be examining his stats and skills, as well as going over pointers how to utilize him effectively, and an overall grade comparing him to how he stacks up to the other 4-star servants. So if all you want for Christmas is a husband doll, then make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring my bell so you can catch all of these spotlight videos as they go up, and you can help out the channel. And now, on to Karna's stats. Santa Karna has a max HP of 12,877 and a max attack of 9,180. He does have a very high HP stat for his class, however his attack stat is well below average. Outside of the Saber class though, Karna has one of the highest HP stats of all SR servants, while his attack stat is just about average. When it comes to his command cards, Karna has 4 hits on his quick card, 3 hits on his arts, 3 hits on his buster, and 5 hits on his extra card. He has an NP gain rate of 0.78% and a star rate of 10.2%. Both his NP gain and his start generating are good due to his high hit counts across the board and his high NP gain rate. Overall, Santa Karna's stats are well balanced with an emphasis on HP and utility, which falls in line with most all-rounder builds similar to most Sabers. Taking a look at his skills, Karna's first skill is Footed Santa rank A. This skill increases his own buster card and quick card effectiveness for 3 hits, between 20 and 30%, and it'll increase his crit damage for 3 turns, between 30 and 50%, all depending on level. His second skill is Flashing Fist rank A, which grants him 2 hits of evasion lasting for 3 turns, increases his own crit star absorption for 1 turn, between 300 and 500%, and increases the crit damage on his quick cards for a turn, between 50 and 100%, both depending on level. And finally, his last skill is Hero of Charity Holy Knight rank EX. This skill charges an ally's NP gauge between 10 and 20% depending on level, and it also grants them debuff immunity for 3 times. As for his passives, Karna has Magic Resistance rank A, which increases his debuff resist by 20%, Divinity rank A, which increases his damage by 200, and Hard Puncher rank EX, which increases the crit damage on his buster cards by 12%. Moving on to his deck and Noble Phantasm, Karna has a quick buster deck with quick arts buster and a quick Noble Phantasm. Karna's Noble Phantasm is Winning Arcaputra, which is a single target quick attack that deals damage to an enemy with a modifier between 1200% and 2000% depending on level. It'll also remove that enemy's guts effect and increase Karna's quick card effectiveness for 1 turn between 20 and 40% depending on overcharge. Santa Karna is a welfare servant, so his ascension mat requirements aren't too bad. For level ascension, he just needs 4 Santa bags, which can be obtained as rewards for completing the Christmas event. For skill leveling, however, he will need 24 Void Dust, 36 Forbidden Chains, 20 Crowns of Radiant Silver, and 20 Spiritrons per skill. Void Dust can be farmed at Charlotte in America with a 69% nice drop rate. Chains have a 73% drop rate at the Wastelands of Death in Camelot. Silver Crowns have a 41% drop rate at the Thanatos Islands in Atlantis, and Spiritrons drop at the underground structure in Olympus with a 45% drop rate. As per the Christmas spirit, FGO has a long tradition of giving us charitable servants who are all about sharing and caring. Whether it be servants like Santa Quetz, who shares many of her buffs with the party, or Santa Nightingale, who cares for everyone by keeping them alive. But despite his more defensively oriented stats, Karna prefers to celebrate Christmas by just punching people in the face. He's a crit saber with high burst damage potential, strong NP gain, and strong star generating. He also has a very strong kit centered around fueling his crits. Even his passive, Hard Puncher, gives him a noticeably high bump in his buster crit damage completely for free. And with 2 buster cards in his deck, he can take advantage of that free bonus damage fairly often. But that's just the beginning of his steroid-loaded kit. Karna's first skill, Footed Santa, gives him a 3-hit 30% buff to buster and quick cards, and it increases his crit damage by 50% for 3 turns. This is Karna's main buff and where most of his damage is going to come from. Not only does the card buff help increase Karna's NP damage, but if you save the skill for a Brave Chain turn and you manage to crit, Karna can deal some explosively high DPS, especially with his buster cards. The only drawback is the short uptime on the quick and buster buff, but thankfully the skill itself has a low cooldown, so Karna can activate it multiple times in in most battles. Karna also has access to another major crit steroid in his second skill, Flashing Fist. This skill grants Karna evasion as well as a huge buff to Star Absorb and an additional 100% crit damage on his quick cards. Offensively, Flashing Fist has good synergy with Karna's first skill, and it lets him set himself up for consistent high damage crit brave chains. Defensively, the evasion is good to have and it can keep Karna alive for multiple turns, or it can help him avoid an enemy Noble Phantasm during boss fights. Finally, Karna has a utility skill in Hero of Charity, which is a 20% NP battery that also grants an ally 3 instances of debuff immunity. Again, the debuff immunity can be useful in harder content like boss fights, so it does give Karna some challenge quest viability, especially given the low cooldown of the skill, and the NP charge also helps him access his NP even faster for that big burst damage. He can also use this skill on an ally instead of himself, which gives him a little bit of extra versatility. There are a couple of different ways that you can go about Karna's skill priority, but I personally recommend Footed Santa first, since that is his best steroid, followed by Flashing Fist for the additional crit damage, and then his NP charge last. You can go for the NP charge first if you really want to abuse his high NP damage, but in my opinion his first 2 skills do scale a lot better and they fit his role as a crit DPS. For append skills, mana loading is the main priority, followed by the extra attack damage. Santa Karna's Noble Phantasm is a single target quick attack that removes guts from an enemy and it also increases his quick card effectiveness for a turn. As far as NPs go, this one is very straightforward and standard, it's just a big damage attack. The guts removal effect is cool, but extremely niche, and most of the time you'll just be using this NP to supplement your single target burst damage, since that quick buff can also juice up Karna's quick crits in a brave chain. Santa Karna is a surprisingly simple servant to use. There aren't really any tricks. He basically just wants to punch things really hard. And on a positive note, he's good at that. Santa Karna does do a really good job of generating crit stars for himself. Even his Noble Phantasm generates a ton of crit stars because it has 8 hits. He then uses those crit stars along with his crit buffs to fuel his damage and continue the cycle, which makes Karna incredibly self-sufficient as a crit DPS so long as he's able to get brave chains and keep attacking. But unfortunately, as is the case with most snowball-y servants, when Karna has bad card RNG, he really slows down, and his damage drops off noticeably. But thankfully, as a free NP5 servant, Karna doesn't just need to rely on his crits to do all the damage. He can also just rely on his powerful NP to burst down enemies as well. And he can even use the extra utility from his third skill and his evade to keep him alive for longer than most other DPSs who are more glass cannony. But Karna being such a dedicated crit DPS is both a blessing and a curse. On one hand, he is good at what he does and he can absolutely be the main DPS on any kind of quick team. But as far as crit sabers go, it's a crowded niche and he doesn't outdamage the likes of the top tier crit sabers like Saber Hokusai and Saito. And while he does bring some extra utility with his third skill, it isn't really enough to make him anything more than a purely offensive servant. Simply put, Santa Karna is a good crit DPS in a class that already has great crit DPSs. But one thing that Karna does have going in his favor is that he is a quick servant, so he can utilize a different set of supports and team comps than most other sabers. Supports that can buff quick card effectiveness or crit damage like Osakabe Hime, Caesar, and Ruler Artoria are all great options for Karna. Osakabe Hime provides everything Karna needs: quick and buster buffs, crit buffs, star generating, and even NP charge. Caesar is a great free-to-play option since he can both generate stars and buff crit damage, and Montoria can help mitigate bad card RNG with her shuffle skill while also boosting crit damage for the party. Karna's Bond CE is Christmas Belt. It increases the party's quick card effectiveness and NP damage by 10%. Not really worth using since it doesn't provide any good attack stats. Instead, give Karna CEs that can bolster his crit damage or his quick card effectiveness, like Traces of Christmas, Imaginary Around, 3 Anglers, and True Crimson Spear Trainer. In the future, it's also worth using Fist of Hail. This CE gives a large star bomb effect along with a buff to quick and crit damage, so it's great for pushing out big damage on turn 1. As for command codes, crit damage codes like Majin Sun are pretty good on Karna. Overall, Santa Karna is a solid crit DPS saber with some good upside. He is capable of very high single turn burst damage due to his multitude of crit buffs and his high NP damage. He is very consistent and self-sufficient thanks to to his star generating, and he even has more durability and utility than the average quick DPS for handling more difficult content. On the downside though, he is overshadowed by more powerful crit sabers like Saber Hokusai, bad card RNG will slow him down, and Santa Karna does suffer from being a bit too one-dimensional as a pure attacker. But all in all, Santa Karna gets a B+ from me. I think he provides an interesting alternative to the typical arts crit sabers for people who are more inclined to use quick servants. And of course, for newer players, he's going to be a powerful addition to your Chaldea, and definitely a servant that you should consider building around. And those are my thoughts on Santa Karna. Gameplay aside, Karna's animations alone make him one of the coolest and most fun welfares to use, so Nina, have a blast. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and consider subscribing if you really enjoyed the video. Join the party over at our Discord, chill with us on Twitch, and follow us on Twitter, all linked in the description down below, and I'll see you all in the next Servant Spotlight. Soberoni out. Later.